Okay, so thank you for joining me. Let's talk about the unique challenges for French speakers learning English. So they're specifically unique challenges just for French speakers, not in general, just French speakers. Um, First of all, French and English have a long history together. There's a lot of overlap, but a lot of difference. We'll start with pronunciation. The H sound, what's called the aspirated H. In French, the letter H is always silent, but it does it's represented in a sound in English. House, happy. I'm exaggerating it. It really affects the vowel that follows it more than anything. But a French speaker might say something like aus or appy, but we do make a very subtle sound in English. The vowel quality and length, and sometimes nasalization can be an issue. We have long vowels and short vowels in English. The difference between ship and sheep, for example, might be a little difficult for a French speaker. French, like so many languages, is syllable timed, not stress timed. This is an issue for most language speakers learning English, but definitely for French. So syllable timed is different from stress timed rhythms. The R is very different in English from French, but again, many languages have trouble with the English R, so that's not really too unique. Articles are very different. When to use them, when to apply them is different between French and English. And when to omit them also is an important difference. In fact, there really is almost no use of the continuous tense in French. But this is an important feature in English. The prepositional usage is completely different and confusing between English and French. Contractions and informal structures can be difficult. All of the different linking words and reduced forms can be difficult. There's a lot of false friends between French and English. Actual or library, these are different words. They have similar words in French, but they have different meanings. Of course, French has gender nouns, and English, of course, does not have gender nouns. We have only neutral. Pronunciation of certain words is very difficult. Though, through, tough, thought. The spelling does not match the pronunciation, but that's also true frequently in French. It's just different in English. Capitalization. Days, weeks, months, and adjectives are not capitalized, but in English we do, sometimes. Well, the days we always do, in months. Intonation can be very different also. Intonation, when to put more emphasis on a rising tone at the end of a question to indicate a yes-no answer. Formal and informal, so there's some cultural and pragmatic differences too. Formal and informal ways of showing respect are different and distinct since we don't have two forms of you, one polite, one informal or casual. So we have different markers and ways to show this in English. French does not have to use our same strategies. for example, one English politeness strategy can be to indirectly say something. It would be nice, or it could, if you don't mind, or structures like this to help indicate indirectness can sometimes be confusing for French speakers when they're learning how to show politeness. Small talk can be very different. In French, you might go into a very deep conversation quickly. Not sometimes English may seem more superficial on its in its small talk. Personal space and body language. This is a good one. This is a very different one. So, of course, it's typical in many French-speaking countries to give kisses to when you greet someone. This is not common in English-speaking countries, and in general, maybe a little more space might be the norm. So that's it for now. Thank you, and I hope you will join me.